Good morning all. Myself Amal Mohammed, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Vedavyasa Institute of Technology. Today, I am going to present a tech talk on the topic virtual reality and augmented reality in construction. Giving an introduction about the topic, construction industry has been slow to adopt new technologies in everyday workflows. But now the manufacturers' expectations are forcing engineers or architects and the builders to rely more on technology in order to meet the demand of the manufacturer. So one of the newest and most technologically advanced inclusion in the construction industry is the use of augmented reality, that is AR, and virtual reality, that is VR. So by incorporating this AR and VR in the construction industry, a variety of management issues can be solved. AR is mainly used for making schedule for progress tracking of the construction industry on how the workers can be trained, how to incorporate safety, time, cost, quality and defect management. While VR is mainly used as a visualization tool, as worker training technology and for quality and defect management. So, what is this virtual reality? Virtual reality is actually the feeling of an imaginary world rather than a real one, which means here a user interactive computer generated experiences is taking place. So this VR, it uses this computer generated 3D simulated environment. Also with this computer generated, either the sounds will be generated or images or the sensation, it can actually simulate the real environment which the user can interact with. The application of the VR in the construction industry is actually a virtual model of the project rather than a real one. Principle of virtual reality. The principle behind the working of virtual reality is that it creates a relationship between user in the real world and the virtual environment. The components of the VR system, it mainly includes input device, lenses, output device, VR engine, sensors, etc. The virtual reality, it consists of software and hardware technologies which interact with the users to immerse it in a virtual environment. So firstly, in the working principle of the virtual reality, the tracking of the physical movements of real world is done. Then the rendering computer, it will retrace the virtual world and then reflect the movements. So this updated virtual world is sent to the output. Detailing on augmented reality. Augmented reality is a growing area in many researchers. Augmented reality, it uses an existing environment and then implement virtual elements to that as if they both are acting together at the same time. Augmented reality, it deals with mainly this combination of the real world and the computer generated data. So that's a difference between augmented reality and the virtual reality. That is, in augmented reality, an existing real world is implemented with virtual elements, while in virtual reality, a non-existing environment is simulated which the user will interact with. The augmented reality, it uses either the live video or images which will be digitally processed and then augmented into the real world surroundings. Goal of augmented reality. The goal of augmented reality is to create a system such that the user cannot identify the difference between the real world and the virtual world through augmentation of both of this. The working of augmented reality, it actually starts with a camera equipped device picking up the real world scene, and then the virtual objects are added either from the cloud and the user can visualize this digital as if it is real. Moving on to civil engineering applications of augmented reality and virtual reality. Some of its applications include VR in house building, for construction safety and training, for project planning and monitoring, for on-site layout planning, for taking automated measurements, for on-site project information, for scheduling, for man labor hours, for quality and defect management, for visualization, and lastly integration with BIM. Application of VR in house building. The application of virtual reality, it can be beneficial if it is used at the conceptual stage of the design process itself, so that the detailed drawing can be generated automatically. So the construction companies will offer a fully immersed virtual model of the project at any stage of the construction process by giving a proper modeling system. Then the application of the AR or VR in construction safety and training. We all know that safety, it's need to be on top priority to everyone associated with the work. So by the application of VR or AR, the workers, they can be trained by simulating the hazardous condition so as to avoid many accidents such as falling from height, from scaffolding, etc. By the use of head-mounted display, the user are able to interact and they can detect the various hazardous conditions, example missing guardrails, etc. Application in project planning and monitoring. The construction managers, they actually know that how a single mistake on the work site can lead to delays and affect the cost. The application of VR and AR, they allows to actually look into future, preview buildings, spot the errors before the construction take place. So a virtual reality implemented project, they actually makes up a virtual construction site, and they can be used for evaluation of the project, for visualization, and for optimization of the construction schedules before actually the construction take place. Then application in site layout planning. The virtual reality and augmented reality, they can be actually used as an important tool for the job site layout organization, and they also can assist the project managers for planning a safe and efficient site. So through a computer generated environment, the user they can actually create their own site layout environment, and then they can manually select and place the object such as maybe a facility or an equipment, and then they also can create a walkthrough, so they can view all the created facilities through this walkthrough. Application for taking automated measurements. It allows the user to automatically make measurements, and this can be actually compared with the actual measurements of the building plan, and the whole changes can be figured out. Also, it allows the workers to find whether there are any inconsistencies in variances, and then they can be adjusted to prevent the cost, delays, etc. Then application for giving on-site project information. By viewing the building information in layers, the users, they can actually view the progress of project, and thus it can save most of the cost, time, etc. Also, it allows to see if everything is fit onto the site to scale also before any materials are ordered or laborers required, etc. And the workers, they will be able to tape and automatically measure the build pieces and then compare them to a specified measurements. Moving on to application in scheduling. Incorporation of AR or VR, they can actually track the plan versus build structure for visualizing the progress of work, and also it actually connects into material tracking, and they ensure that necessary materials will be available on the site without any delays. Then application in detecting the man labor hours, they actually allows the manager to save both the money and time of man labor hours, and also the cost efficiencies, since most of the defects or the rework of the constructions are avoided through this. And also it is possible to detect through the AR or VR that what work is actually going on the site and when will be the work completed. Application in detecting quality and defect management. Both the quality and defect management are very important in the construction management industry. So the application of VR or AR will be an effective tool for defect identification for quality management. The application of AR or VR, they will actually facilitate to deal with the defects which are unnoticed during the inspection process. Then moving on to application of AR or VR as a visualization tool. The application of the VR or AR technology, they actually give a virtual project model which will be able to give a feeling of real world before the construction or the project has been started. So visualization of hazards, risks which are associated with the construction industry or the of the project can be known beforehand and they can be mitigated. So the construction project, they can be actually planned, monitored or controlled by this a detailed visualization technique. Application of integration of AR or VR with building information modeling. Building information modeling is a process of digital designing model. By combining the BIM with AR or VCAN, they can actually drive the digital transformation. Some of the application of combining with the building information model, it includes verifying in advance the space usage, coordination among the activities to make control among the activities to minimize the design errors before the actual construction take place. So here the actual project, it will be more realistic than the 3D model which will be on the computer, and hence many problems can be identified and they are solved at the early stage of the project itself. And also it is possible to visualize the difference between the planned project and the building process, and thus it will facilitate for a good decision making. This which is a real-time evaluation, it will provide the manager with real-time dynamic planning environment since the changes can reflect it. Concluding the topic, virtual reality and augmented reality both play vital roles in the construction industry. The construction industry whom employ AR or VR, they can actually plan the project right from beginning to end. Sequence of each activities can be done and also the changes can be updated. It allows the managers to visualize everything that are put together on the site and scale it before required for installation. The AR and VR, it also allows the construction team to detect the errors ahead of time and also avoid costly mistakes. This virtual reality and the augmented reality, they are just beginning to show their potential, and it is sure that in short time they had already proven to be crucial addition in the construction industry, and they could provide as a vital support tool in the industry. That's all. Thank you.